Hello my dear students, welcome you all to the botany classes. In the previous classes we just have briefly observed what are the concepts to be discussed under this nomenclature and taxonomy. Today we shall see the principles of botanical nomenclature, means what are the rules to be followed during the nomenclature of a angiospermic plant. Right. Without wasting time, we shall move on to the slides. Firstly, what is botanical nomenclature? Botanical nomenclature is the naming of plants and the related principles and rules. Means you have to give a particular name to a plant, and for that naming there are some rules and principles. And the principles and rules of botanical nomenclature are developed and adapted in series of international botanical congresses or conferences or seminars, means a meeting held with the help of some botanists, some of the experts, which make some of the rules. And third main point is principles and rules are listed in International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, ICBN. Okay. And the main goal of ICBN is to provide one correct name for each taxonomic group within a stable system of names or classification. Means one plant species must be given only one perfect name. Maybe after many trials, many errors, many failures of nomenclature, but ultimately one plant must be given only one perfect name. That is the main aim of the botanical nomenclature, right. And here what is the scientific name here? What is meaning by scientific name? A name is merely a conventional symbol or cipher that serves as a means of reference and avoid the need for continued use of a cumbersome descriptive phrases. Means sometimes we use 3-4 words to describe a plant, but when we give a particular scientific name, it includes only 2 words, genus and species. So, scientific name is most essential. Second point, the fundamental principle of scientific nomenclature is that names must be unambiguous and universal. Unambiguous and universal means they must be same in all the geographical areas, in all the countries for the same plant. And the formation and use of scientific names of organisms for nomenclatural purpose are governed by codes of nomenclature. Means there are many committees, there are many codes. Those codes or committees will organize or they regulate the naming of these botanical names or scientific names to the respective plants. Here we have many codes of nomenclature. If it is a plant, then the code is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, ICBN, for plants including fungi and cyanobacteria. Like that, there are many codes listed over here. These are meant for nomenclature of animals, nomenclature of bacteria, nomenclature of virus, nomenclature of cultivated plant. Like that, the respective codes will be used for the nomenclature of respective plant category or the animal category or virus categories, etc. Right. So, once pause the video, better you note down all these codes which regulate the nomenclature of various groups of organisms. Right. So, here we have a brief comparison between scientific names and common names. Common names also called vernacular names. The botanical names are universal while common names are limited to a single language or to a particular geographical region. Means a scientific name will be same in all the areas, but in different area the plant will be given a different common name. One language, one common. For the onion, we have many names in many languages, in many areas. Like that, every plant has only one scientific name in all the areas, but it has many common names in various areas. Sometimes one vernacular name may be used to different taxa, or one taxon may be different common names, like that. Here we have example, the Nafu is a Savile name for about 30 species of a section Solanum genus, like that. There will be a lot of confusion between common names or vernacular names used in various languages, various regions of the world. So, only the scientific names, only Solanum melongena for brinjal, like that. The scientific naming is very much essential for the plants. And here we have some characteristics of species scientific names, species names. Once we shall go through each. Species scientific names are binomials, means they are composed of two words, generic and specific, genus and species. And binomial system was founded by Jean Bauhin, but used consistently by the most father of taxonomy, Carolus Linnaeus, which he wrote in his book Species Plantarum. He wrote in his book Species Plantarum in the year of 1753. And the first word will be genus, second word will be species, right. Here generic name is a collective name for a group of plants that all share similar characteristics. Means if a group of plants have a similar characters, then it will be given same genus. And the specific name allows us to distinguish between different plants within a genus. Means within one genus some plants have other characteristics, other plants have other characteristics, like that one genus may have a more than one specific names, right. So, here we shall have some more characteristic of the specific epithets. Specific epithets refer to different things, means it may refer to distinctive morphological, ecological or chemical features. For example, Alophia multifolia, multifolia many leaves, Ipomea aquatica, aquatica water, okay. Tuberna montana elegans, Ficus religiosa, religious uses, right. So, and here the honor individual who first collected the species or a scientist who have contributed much to the botanical knowledge of a particular region or taxonomic group, example Solanum isabelli for Isabella, like that. Whoever the scientist first identifies the plant, then the plant species name will be given with the name of that person, or if he wish he can name the species with the name of the place where it was discovered, right. So, here we can say geographical epithets, means the plants which were observed or described from one geographical area can be given with that area's name or a local name. For example, Sahara of the Sahara, Pogonis of Pugu, like that. There are various names of the species which were taken from the place, from the geographical area where it belonged to. So, here we have some ranks of taxonomic categories, means what are the suffixes used to name a scientific name to the plant. For kingdom it will be Bionta, for phylum it will be Phyta, for subphylum it will be Phytina, for class it will be Opsida, for subclass it will be Idae, for superorder it will be Ene, for order it will be Ales, for suborder it will be Ene, for family it will be Acae. There are some exceptions, we will see later on. And subfamily Oideae, tribe A, subtribe Ine, genus none, italize, start with a capital letter. Species, none, genus name plus specific epithet, italicize. Okay. Subspecies, there is no fixed suffix for that, right. So, these are the suffixes used for various ranks of the taxonomic categories, right. So, here features of taxonomic hierarchy means there are some exceptional families which can be given with alternative names for those families. Okay. Family Apiaceae, also known as Umbelliferae, Ericaceae or Palmae, Asteraceae or Compositae, Brassicaceae or Cruciferae, Clusiaceae or Guttiferae, Fabaceae or Leguminosae, Lamiaceae or Labiatae, lastly Poaceae or Graminae. So, these are the families exceptionally can be given with other names also, right. Here features of taxonomic hierarchy, here the names above the rank of genus are based upon the name of an included genus, means each rank has a distinctive ending that is attached to the stem of the name of the genus. Example, Solanum is a genus in the family Solanaceae, means the major genus will form the family. The name of the family will be taken with the help of the plant genus which is most common in that group. Okay. So, Solanum, Solanaceae, like that, Lamiaceae, Labiatae, like that, whichever the plant is more common to that family, that makes the name of that family. The word taxon is used to refer to a taxonomic category of any rank. The plural is taxa, means family is a taxa, order is a taxa, taxon, then class is a taxon, division is a taxon, like that. Name of the genus is always underlined or italicized. The first letter is capitalized, means while writing the name of genus, genus must be started with a capital letter, and if it is typed, it will be italic. If it is written, it will be underlined. So, scientific name of a species is the combination of the name of the genus with a specific epithet. To be complete, the scientific name includes the authority. Example, Solanum nigrum Linnaeus, means whoever the scientist describes the plant, then it after the species, the scientist's or author's name must be mentioned. That is what we call a authority or author citation. Okay, also called a author citation. The word species is both singular and plural. Okay, we can use it as a singular word as well as a plural word. It is always correct to write the specific epithet in all lower case, means the species name must have all small letters. Okay. And the specific epithet is usually considered to be an adjective that modifies the genus or noun, means the species will add up more characteristics, means it will explain more about that genus, it will explain more about that plant species. Okay. Of course, genus will be given with explanation of some characteristics, but when it is given a species name, then the plant will have more characteristics to explain. Okay. When several species of one genus are given in sequence, the name of the genus can be abbreviated to its first letter, means whenever you are using the same genus for the second time in the same page or in the same document, then we can just use the first letter of that genus. Okay. Here you can see the Anteria, Congolana and Hunteria jalanica, but you don't need to pronounce only H, you have to pronounce complete Hunterina for the second time. But while writing, you don't need to write again to complete the genus, just have to write the first letter of the genus, put a dot and write the species of other plant. So, here principles of botanical nomenclature, the major concept of this class. Naming of the plants is covered by the ICBN, International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. New edition of ICBN is published after each International Botanical Congress referred to by the city where the congress took place, and the most current is Vienna Code of 2006. Application of names is determined by nomenclatural types. We shall discuss the types in later on classes, and nomenclature is based upon priority of the publication. We shall also discuss about the priority in the next class. Lastly, each taxonomic group can have only one correct name, which is the earliest, that is in accordance with the rules, except in specified cases, and scientific names are in Latin. One main question there is arising, that is why the botanists are using only Latin, why not other languages? Because Latin is a dead language, means there is no further growth in Latin, and fortunately in Latin one word has only one meaning. So, the scientists are regularly using a Latin language for the nomenclature of the plants. Lastly, the rules of nomenclature are retroactive, that is conservative, unless expressly limited, means they have a limited or a restricted meaning for a particular plant, for a particular geography, for a particular morphological modification of the plant, right. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this class. This is enough for today's class. We shall see in the next class. Till that, keep learning. Thank you.